Hello YouTubers, this is the Noobifier. Welcome to my no bullshit video about the future of multi-crew stations. The types of things they're going to let you do and why they're going to become so critical in Star Citizen as it evolves. Originally, my personal expectations out of Star Citizen had nothing to do with being a crew member. It seemed fairly uninteresting to me. I had a ship, I was a pilot, done. I wasn't completely alone either. The forums are cluttered with 2 years of the same post. Will I be able to solo play ship X? Can I run my Lancer effectively by myself? Can I solo my Javelin? The community was aware of multi-crew gameplay, but before we actually saw it work in game, as a minimum we needed assurance that we could enjoy the game alone. So, spoiler alert, I got to experience a very small taste of what being a crew member is like. CIG aims to offer the benchmark teamwork universe, a place where you can solo if you like, but working with a team will result in those awesome Star Citizen moments that can be shared amongst friends. With the release of 2.1 to live and the Vanguard, I clearly saw the potential firsthand. From what I've read in researching for this video, and what I saw personally, I'm sure that my expectations will change. I now know that I'll eventually seek out that teamwork. We're definitely going to need to crew these ships together. The AI crew will function, but the experience will be completely hollow. I had so much fun just sitting in the back of that Vanguard, and it never occurred to me that this could be appealing. Several of my org mates ended up in the same instance. Echo wanted to fly, and Shadows wanted it in the turret. I could have spawned another ship for myself, and I got in expecting a boring experience, but I left with a completely changed perspective. Multicrew will be the best part of my experience in Star Citizen. All we've known to date is Arena Commander, so it makes sense that we were dogfighting centric. It's time to embrace the next level. I was thinking about the Vanguard, but please think bigger than that. How would a third operator add to the effectiveness of that Vanguard? A ship listed as having a crew of 2, a ship designed for long-range missions. So my most obvious role would be that I can optimize the ship systems, simply taking some energy weapons offline and shunting that power towards the shield systems. As long as the pilot's aware of the change, it'll allow him to adjust his tactics or loiter a little bit to get the shields up. I could maximize the ship engines in a similar manner as the shield scenario, and I could totally maximize the stealth of that craft by downing all the subsystems to a reduced state. So sure, the pilot can do all these things himself, however the big difference is when the ship is bumped, he may not have enough time to reset everything. The crew member will easily be able to get that ship up to combat levels, unloading the workload on the pilot who can fully commit on the job of piloting. Here are a bunch of other possible functions that I came up with when researching for this video. I can repair components on the fly. I can bolster a potential boarding party. I can EV from the ship to perform a multitude of tasks while leaving the craft fully combat effective. I can perform first aid on crewmates. I can take over their role if they're incapacitated. I can relieve crew members for long missions. I can discuss how to approach key points of the mission with the crew. I can switch with a mission pilot, let's say if they're less confident in navigating a high threat section of a mission. Exploiting the sensors to identify high-value targets, possibly even being able to set up a target list for the pilot and turret operator. And expanding on that idea, the crewman could function as a CCC officer for a small group of ships, working on formations or objectives for each ship. It's my opinion that having a strong crew member is going to be just as important as having an ace pilot or a marksman in the turret. Now for the Noobifier's wish list. Being able to plot a course for the pilot on a lesser level than what was announced in the character document. The optimal plot based on threat, distance, and cost. Again, the pilot can do all this, but why not delegate that to someone with better tools? So, the crew station currently has a spot to show crew members. Let's expand on that so you can see their names instead of just a number. I'd like to be able to click on the individual's name and open up a submenu. With that menu open, I'd like to be able to see if that person is an AI or a live player. It was announced that we can leave the game and leave your character operating on the ship as an AI. I want to be able to set permissions for the crew members, giving them access to ship functions, ship areas, assigning them crew quarters, or locking them out of sensitive ship systems. I'd like to identify crew members based on their roles, such as Captain, 2IC, Pilot, Turret Gunner, Loadmaster, Boarding Party, Medic, Damage Control. Just like in real life, it's important to identify secondary duties for crewmates. This would make it easier for people to know exactly what's expected of them. Being able to lock out the hatches, and setting a passcode to gain entry. Being able to initiate an alert state? Yes, I want to be able to call out red alert just like in Star Trek because I think it would be so bloody cool. Being able to customize the targets you encounter, and being able to modify the color or intensity of HUD items. This could facilitate keeping track of escorted ships, or marking a bounty that you're tracking. Let's say you had a bad run-in with a ship, or someone double-crossed you in the past. You could add that ship to a list that would highlight in the HUD so you could be better prepared. Perhaps an icon that's normally green would show up as yellow, prompting you to read your notes or approach with caution. Some other options would be to set pinned targets for the crew, setting target priority, or changing the missile type for the pilot. So I hope it's obvious that I put some thought into this. I want you to post your ideas in keeping with the subject, Multicrew workstations. My plan is to compile all the ideas, discuss them with my org mates, and then find someone at CIG who might be interested in what we came up with. If you got something out of this video, please do me a solid and link it to a friend, post it up on Facebook, tweet it, I don't care, we need to get the word out about Star Citizen. Sub for more like this in the future, and I'll see you in the verse.